I imagine that this must be one of the daughters. Okay, this is Slate, by the way, everybody. This is called Slate Cemetery, and it has several different names, if I can find it. It's known also as Wolf Cemetery, WOLFE. It's also known as Bowl Cemetery, BOWLES, and Bolus, BOWLUS. And there was a few other names too, but a lot of people call it just Witch's Ditch. High schoolers like to run around here at night when it is kind of spooky. As you can see, it's very interesting, very small. I'm kind of wondering when was the last time it was used. And also, we have a creek that's running this way. You have to be very careful. It comes this way. It's got a nice fence. I actually think this is a very well kept up cemetery. I don't see any broken stones, but let's see what some of the stones do say. I believe here, I'm not sure what this one said. I just read it. Okay. All right. This is the Emma L., daughter of G and E. Michael, 1862, I believe, to 1896. So she didn't really live that long. I believe here she is. Now we come over here, and this is the Hoffers, right up and down this road. This is Catherine. I imagine because she's buried here, and she's the daughter of William and Nancy, who's right here. But she lived quite a long life, as you can see, from 1849 to 1920. I imagine she probably just never married. Here, this is Nancy. This is William. This is William right here, and it says right here he lived to be 61 years, 4 months, and 29 days. And he died July the 2nd, 1882. And that's how old he was. Now, this is kind of sad, but this is what happened days gone by. These are the children of William and Nancy. Right here, this is John. And he was, I believe it says, it looks like it's 1 year old, 5 months, and he died in 1855. This is Adeline, and she was 14 years old, and she died in 1872. This is Ellen. She died in 1877. She was, I believe, 26 years old. And it says right here, children of William, and would be, well, it says WM, and N is William and Nancy Hoffer. So that is 1, 2, 3. Yes, very sad, right there. And over here, right here, this is Virgil Hoffer. He had a nice long life. This is Zella Hoffer Reitnor. Now, it's interesting that Virgil was born in 1860 and died in 1936. Zella was born in 1896 and died in 1930. So obviously she didn't have a very long life. But then over here we have Virgil E. Reitnor, but it's not quite spelled the same way. But I'm pretty sure this is 1923 and 19 through 1947. So this young man didn't have a very long life. But I imagine that Zella was probably the daughter, let's see, of Virgil, and she married somebody, Reitnor, and had a son here, Virgil, named after, I would assume, Zella's father, who I'm assuming is the mother of this Virgil, and this Virgil over here is probably the father of Zella. So this young man was probably named after his grandfather. I was gravesite. Okay, continue. And as you can see, we have stones that we can't read. Lester. This is Catherine and John. All right. Oh, they had good long lives, and they died in the early 1900s. Okay, the cemetery must be named after William Slates, or the Slates family right here, because we do have some Slates now. I don't know if there's any inscription up here. Let's see.
Bullis, I guess.
Buried in Bullis Cemetery, right?
That must have been the name of this one, maybe.
At that time, maybe.
Yeah.
Because if we go look at the slates, were they? They were before these people.
These
They
are.
were after these people.
Yeah, these are some really old graves, I think.
Yeah, I think it was renamed the slate for some reason. Okay, here's what's the back up. Here's Henry.
Yeah.
Who is he? Oh, Caroline, right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just running out of juice, so we gotta.
Oh, okay. Well.
In closing?
In closing, it still amazes me the lifespan of people back then. How so many can lose so many children. Back then, I think it wasn't unusual. Again, I think if you lived to be about 50, you were doing really well. There are some graves here that people did live in their 60s, 70s, and I think maybe we saw one that's 80s. But it was so common back then to lose loved ones at a young age. So, closing remarks would be, let's just appreciate what we have now and keep going forward. And God willing, we all live to a ripe old age and still have all our mind and our hearts and our bodies.